Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of NEWS2. I'm Sandra Gomansing. In our top story, the Danish relief effort is in the territory. It's an agreement between the Danish and the U.S. Virgin Islands and U.S. authorities. A small but effective team is in the territory, as we shared earlier, working on infrastructural issues at public schools in St. Croix and nursing home facility on St. Thomas. The Danish Ministry of Defense is financing the emergency assistance. Stephanie Brown reports.
The Virgin Islands is still observing the centennial year of the 1917 transfer of the Danish West Indies to the United States. At official centennial transfer events, the Prime Minister of Denmark had stated that the Danish government wished to strengthen ties with the Virgin Islands, and on October 1st, the Danish Parliament and the Ministry of Defense sent 2 representatives to St. Croix to coordinate with the local government on how best they could assist in recovery efforts from Hurricane Irma and Maria. The Danish Emergency Management Team, which consists of 14 individuals, have been tasked with assisting in restoring critical infrastructure, which includes the repair of damaged schools.
10 people here in St. Croix fixing schools and moving debris and patching roof and so on. And on St. Thomas, there's 4 people. They are doing, they're working on Seaview Nursing Home and Queen Louise Nursing Home for the elder. And they're doing electricity, moving debris, patching roof, and so on.
Denmark is a world leader in renewable energy. On February 22nd of this year, Denmark generated enough energy with its wind turbines to power the entire country for the day. Assisting the territory with regaining some power, along with other disaster assistance aid, was contemplated.
In DEMA, we came up with a plan with different types of assistance, for example, generators, energy. But because of the conversion between 230 volt and 210, it didn't make any sense to send generators here.
St. Thomas schools have resumed on double session, and on St. Croix, public schools, which DEMA has helped restore, are scheduled to resume on Monday, October 23rd. For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Ms. Walters Moore, the acting principal of the St. Croix Educational Complex, stated today that Eric Brum and Frank Winter and the members of the DEMA team are the most effective, efficient, and thorough workers, making it possible for the St. Croix Educational Complex to reopen. And from the administration team, faculty, and staff, they say they express the heartfelt gratitude and sincere appreciation for all the work they are doing. Well, another group lends a hand. As we shared over the weekend, 260 linemen arrived in the territory to assist in WAPA's restoration of electrical service. The linemen are equally divided between both island districts and are already working alongside WAPA line department personnel and on-island contractors. 250 additional linemen are expected in the Virgin Islands on October 27th, bringing the total number of off-island personnel to more than 500.
We came from all over. These are different groups from all over New England. We drove to Florida, Fort Lauderdale, put our trucks on a barge. They got barged over here. We got them off yesterday and last night. So now we're here to work to put the wires back up and get the power back on. They gave us a project to do. Gave us what they think will be the time frame, and then after that we'll see where we are and what they want to do as far as keeping us. We are going to turn over a crew in a couple weeks. We'll send other guys down so these guys will get some rest, and then if they want us back again, we'll rotate.
Reconstruction and restoration work hampered in both island districts on Monday due to the inclement weather and saturated grounds. On St. Thomas, crews worked on reconstructing the primary lines on feeder 7A toward Patriot Manor, while poles were planted in another section of the feeder near Estate Altona. Work also continued on the redevelopment of a transmission feeder that will bring electrical service to the WAPA East End substation and subsequently to customers on St. John, as well as the Red Hook and Nazareth areas of St. Thomas. On St. John, additional poles were planted from Cruz Bay to Estate Pastory, and work was done on a section of Feeder 9E. Crews from one of the off-island contractors will be dedicated to the restoration of St. John. On St. Croix, line crews worked Monday on circuits leading from Mill Harbor to Five Corners and on a portion of Feeder 8B leading to Frederickstead. Cleanup crews worked in Sunny Isle and on the campus of Central High School.
Thanks for that update, John. Well, the Virgin Islands Port Authority's Executive Director, David Mapp, wishes to quell public concern, he says, about airport closures in the USVI. The Port Authority, he says, will not close the Cyril E. King Airport on St. Thomas or the Henry E. Rolson Airport on St. Croix. Now, Rolson Airport on St. Croix, Mapp said Viper employees have received several phone calls and messages from the public concerned that the airports will be closed to the traveling public in the upcoming weeks, and he believes that the rumors stem from misinformation provided to travelers and from misleading posts on the internet. The King Airport reopened to commercial flights on September 28th on a limited basis. The terminal currently has 5 of its 11 gates available for use. Viper has targeted December 1st for the reopening of the remaining gates and other areas of the terminal, which are currently under repair due to extensive damages sustained during the hurricanes. The Rolson Terminal, which reopened to commercial traffic on October 5th, is fully operational, but is also being renovated because of hurricane damages. However, the Port Authority will not close its airports to commercial flights while they're being repaired. Mapp added that all the airlines have resumed service to the territory. The public is encouraged to call their respective airline for specifics about their daily schedules and for accurate information about the territory's airport. Mapp is asking the public to contact the Port Authority's Public Information Officer, Manifa Brathwaite, and that number is 340-774-1629. Well, two disaster recovery centers opened today in St. Thomas to provide information and help for survivors of the hurricanes. The new recovery centers are in different areas of the island, they say, for the convenience of survivors. The new hotel company Omar Brown Fire Station, Conference Room in Ross Tarnenberg, and the Bordeaux's Farmers Market in Estate Bordeaux. Opening hours for both DRCs are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily, they say, until further notice. Recovery centers offer one-on-one support to homeowners, renters, and small business owners who are working to recover from the hurricanes. Recovery specialists from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and the U.S. Small Business Administration will be available to provide information on the types of help available, assist with filling out applications, and answer questions. Now, FEMA has recovery centers open in St. Thomas and St. Croix, and will soon announce the opening of a recovery center in St. John. Survivors with connectivity may register with FEMA for assistance at disasterassistance.gov or by calling 1-800-621-3362. Individuals who have a speech disability or hearing loss, of course, you can call, use the TTY, you should call 800-462-7585. You can use 711 or the video relay service. You may call 1-800-621-3362. And the toll-free numbers operate from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week, and operators are standing by to assist. Well, turning to some news over in Puerto Rico, nearly 2 weeks after President Trump's visit to Puerto Rico, the official death toll has tripled to at least 48. As Leila Santiago reports, much of the emergency help available to Puerto Ricans is going unused because of, they say, disorganization and confusion. Here's the latest.
A floating hospital ready to serve the United States Navy ship Comfort. Operating rooms, intensive care units, an impressive state-of-the-art operation now at Puerto Rico's disposal.
Anybody who comes to the Comfort, we're happy to see.
How many patients could you have right now?
Well, so the package we have on board now is to support 250 total beds.
And yet many of these beds are empty. We asked the ship's mission commander why.
I know that we have capacity. I know that we have the capability to help. What the situation on the ground is, that's not in my lane to make a decision.
Which patients are lucky enough to come here, that's decided by Puerto Rico's Department of Health. we went to their boss, the governor.
At the end of the day, there are patients that need help with a ship and empty beds. Where's that disconnect, and what are we doing about it?
The disconnect, or the apparent disconnect, was in the communication flow.
Hospitals we talked to told us they don't know how to send their patients to the comfort. The governor acknowledged the system, the communication must get better. The count now, 33 of the 250 beds on the comfort have patients, as generators at hospitals fail and vital medical supplies run short.
It seems like there's a lack of communication. Do you know what the criteria is now?
No. No.
Tough for doctors.
I feel horrible because I can't help you.
And tough for vulnerable families, knowing the comfort could help.
Well, keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch with the New York Stock Exchange. Taking a look at the numbers, we can see the Dow up 40, NASDAQ down, S&P 500 up as well. Coming up on NEWS2, an update from the Department of Health. Also, the governor announced that the hurricane shelters will close this week due to the schools reopening. We hear from some of the residents who are staying at these shelters. That's coming up next. Welcome back. Here's an update from the Virgin Islands Department of Health. As we shared, the department will be offering some free insulin, flu shots, and tetanus shots on Wednesday, tomorrow, at the Wanaflui Hospital from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Here's more.
Department of Health is so very happy and excited that we're going to be able to do a part 2 in distributing insulin, and we're doing so tomorrow at the Wanaflui Hospital in partnership with their pharmacy. We're going to be providing free insulin, and we ask that patients bring their medicine bottle or their prescription on a picture form identification. The following insulins are being offered: Humalog, Humulin 70/30, Humulin R, and Humulin N. So we're providing that tomorrow for free for all underinsured and uninsured, and that's going to be held from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Wanaflui Hospital. In addition, we will be providing free flu shots at the Wanaflui Hospital and also tetanus shots at the Wanaflui Hospital from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow. So we look forward to everyone taking part in being able to receive insulins tomorrow, free flu shots, as well as free tetanus shots. If you have questions, please feel free to call 340-690-4633.
On Saturday, Governor Mapp announced that the hurricane shelters will close this week to allow for the Department of Education to prepare for the back-to-school full use of the buildings. Governor Mapp stressed that those being sheltered in the school buildings will be relocated or assisted in returning to their homes where possible. Now, we heard from some who had been staying or working at the shelters. Here's more.
I've been very grateful to work with the commanders on the ground, Commander Holden and Beth Carrier, as well as Woodson and a New Pennsylvania team, to ensure that all the medical care within the shelters are supported and covered. And we've been doing that in collaboration with EMS, as well as the Department of Health Command Center and VITEMA, to ensure that everyone in the territory is safe during this time and receive the adequate medical care they need. I've reached out to Medicine Shop, Chelsea, and Doctor's Choice, and all the other local pharmacies to ensure that seniors, especially who need medication, we can get their medication filled and have refills, and reach out to their doctors if they're on island.
One of the tasks that we're going to perform today is helping them depopulate this shelter here at the Lockhart School and remove patients back to Seaview Nursing Home. So we'll be moving 12 patients from this facility to Seaview Nursing Home.
We were in our house and everything came apart, and then we run over to the neighbor afterwards, and then we came here. Everything was all right. It was pleasant, and since the human services came here, we got a lot of information and help that we needed.
I've been here since September 12th. And since I came here, everybody been pleasant, been helpful to me. And since the human services came, I've been getting a lot more information about what's going on, and they've been bringing people to us that will help us, the Red Cross, and even the Housing Finance Authority been here, and they've been a great deal helping us to find a place that we can be. And overall, everything has been good. You know, they've been taking good care of us, you know, and I'm very pleased.
And some sad news to report. Governor Mapp and Lieutenant Governor Osbert Potter, they expressed their sincere condolences Monday to the family and colleagues of Federal Emergency Management Agency outreach worker Rich Bradley, who passed away and they say died of natural causes this weekend on St. Croix. Governor Mapp said, by all accounts, Mr. Bradley was a very dedicated public servant who cared deeply about his work and supporting disaster survivors. FEMA reports that Bradley began his career with the agency during the Florida hurricanes of 2004 as a voluntary agency liaison and continued to share his passion helping disaster survivors recover throughout his many years of service. Even before his career with FEMA, Bradley exemplified the spirit of selflessness throughout his time with the Seventh-day Adventist and the state of Florida during disaster response operations. Condolences to his family. We'll turn into some crime reports. On Monday, October 16, around 8:45 p.m., police say Edward Jefferson Charles, 52 years of age, was arrested and charged for murder in the first degree. Police said Charles was arrested after being identified as the individual who stabbed Mr. Bertrand Joseph. Bail was set at $1 million. Charles was remanded to the Golden Grove Detention Center pending advice of rights hearing. Well, the Seventh-day Adventist Church has been giving relief efforts to those affected by both Hurricanes Irma and Maria. The church's efforts have provided food and supplies to St. Thomas, the BVI, and St. Martin. On St. Croix, the SDA Church has operated 3 food centers sharing hot meals to around, they say, 9,000 people. Here's more.
ALDRA is meeting the needs of the people on the 10 islands of the North Caribbean Conference that have been affected by the passing of the 2 recent storms, Irma and Maria.
Out there, as mentioned, we have some initiatives running right now in this North Caribbean Conference. Over in St. Martin, we did start what we call a soup kitchen. The government asked us to intervene, and so we began to provide meals, and right now we have a team of volunteers providing hot meals there on a daily basis. Each day, that soup kitchen gives out a total of about 350, 375 meals, and this week we plan to expand that to 800 meals per day.
Here on St. Croix. During the past 2 weeks, actually 2 weeks and a couple of days, we have operated 3 feeding centers. One over the Peters Rest area and right here in Grove Central area, and of course the Sunny Acres in the Sunny Isles area. We have a feeding program going on as well. Thus far, we have fed approximately 9,000 meals to the community of St. Croix. I just left the Sunny Acres area and the folks are in line waiting for the meals, as you can see right here in Central as well. So we are doing quite a work in the community, and this is what ministry is all about. This is the heart of what we do. We serve the community selflessly.
Well, thanks for lending a hand. Well, be sure to stick around. We have some wet weather to look out to. Stick around. NEWS2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Hopefully everybody had a fantastic day out here. We are watching a tropical wave that is heading in our direction. It's going to reach us here in the next 24 hours or so. Right now, things are looking pretty quiet. Of course, we could see some downpours in Puerto Rico, those higher elevations, as daytime heating progresses here. But tonight, we could expect to see just a few brief showers. Tomorrow, that's really when we're going to see an uptick because of that tropical wave. So for tonight, 79 degrees, a shower or 2 in place places. Tomorrow in St. John, we're going to have more frequent showers. So maybe a few going across, 86 degrees, staying warm. St. Thomas, 86 degrees again with a few showers and also some more cloud coverage. St. Croix, 89 degrees. Again, a shower or two should be expected. Now, the marine forecast on the Atlantic side, we don't have any advisories to tell you about. Waves 3 to 5 feet, winds out of the southeast 15 to 20 knots. But the Caribbean side, because the winds coming out of the southeast 15 to 20 knots, we do ask small craft to use caution. It's going to be awfully choppy out there. It's going to be difficult to navigate a small boat here. Waves 4 to 6 feet, and that advisory should expire sometime tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. Thursday, we will have some improvement. It'll be a little breezy, but a lot less as far as showers. Some sunshine out there. Friday, mostly sunny, a little bit breezy again, 87 degrees. By Saturday, gorgeous day, mostly sunny, temperatures at 86. And on Sunday, it's just going to be nice, beautiful conditions to get outside and do whatever you might have to do over the weekend. Sandy, back to you.
Okay, so we're keeping our eye on that tropical wave. Thanks for that. Jaden McTorian of the E. Benjamin Oliver School shares this picture. Beautiful colors. We have some greenery there and sunshine, Jaden. Thank you for that. Send us your News 2 weather picture to the address right on the screen. News 2 via 4611 Tutu Park Suite 300, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands 00802, and then tune in to see it right here on News 2. That is all for this edition. We'd like to thank you for joining us. I'm Sandra Guman saying have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next time.